Welcome once again, everybody, to the Music Show. I'm Ray Braselton, your host.
And I'm Nick Rita, co-host.
We're glad to have you with us. We have a group called Steve Wickman and Friends with us today. This group has a past history of different names, Steve Wickman being the main person that was in these groups.
He's fronted different groups throughout the years. Right?
Well, since the even 68, I believe.
I think he said he started in 68.
And we're going to be talking about all these different groups. And I know that a lot of people in this upstate New York and this area know him. For one thing, he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Honor. And that's in Cortland, I believe.
Cortland, New York.
Now, that was in 2006, so it hasn't been that many years.
Right.
But along with some other great people, even a couple people have been on the show, one being Vern Young was one of them that was inducted also. We will be talking about a lot of his past experiences at the places he's played at, and some of the even talk about some of the fun things that happened, some of the strange things that happen on the road, and we'll be of course talking about some of the benefits that he's done for people to help so many people, and we'll be talking about his family a little bit, very well-known family.
We'll talk about his struggles with his heart.
Yes,
with that situation.
And just to get
he's overcome quite a bit with that.
Oh, he has.
Yes.
It's amazing. You have to get to know this guy. You really will appreciate him. So you know,
there's six people together here tonight.
Yep, there's 6 people on the show.
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot. And again, they do all variety, 50s, 60s. Right. Even they're going to be doing a blues number for us on the show, plus country. Right. So you know, along with our other featured items that we do, you know, I think you'll enjoy the show very much.
Nice show, good show.
Yeah. So stick in there, and you know, don't change that remote or
don't touch that dial.
Whatever it was. We'll see you in a bit.
Song by Bob Dylan. Mama, take this badge off of me. I won't wear it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark for me to see. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Mama, put my guns in the ground. Well, I won't shoot them anymore. That long black cloud is coming down. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Ooh. Sung by Albert Cummings, revamped by us. Goes like this. Makes me feel so good. Makes me feel so good. Well, you tell me that you want me. You tell me that it's true. You tell me that you love me, honey. You know that I want you. I said the blues makes me feel so good. Hey, it's hard to feel bad when the blues makes me feel so good. Makes me feel so good. Honey, I see the blues make me feel so good. I see the blues makes me feel so good. Hey, it's hard to feel bad when the blues make me feel so good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the music show. And this is the interview part of the show, and I have for you, of course, Steve Wickman and friends. How you doing, Steve?
Good, Ray. How are you?
Good, very good. Let's introduce your friends, and my friends too. Why don't we start with you? And your name is, and your instrument, and all that stuff.
Jay Palmer, live in Webster, play guitar.
Long drive here.
I had the shortest drive for once.
Say that again?
I had the shortest drive for once.
Yeah, we're in Webster, so that's the reason. Okay, let you introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Cynthia Hewling-Hummel. I sing vocals in the band. I'm from Waverly, New York, down on the Pennsylvania border.
The boss. Okay. You first.
Steve Wickman, sodas, been around
100 years.
100 years, older than dirt.
Okay, you're.
I'm Steve DeSanto. I'm from Clyde, New York.
That's
Been
middle.
playing with him for years.
It's Middle Steve, right?
Middle
Yes,
Steve.
that's
Right.
Middle Steve.
My name's Ian Kerr. I'm from Sodus, New York. I play the bass and I'm on vocals.
Okay, and Little Steve.
Yeah, my name's Steve Wickman also. I play the
don't know
drums,
which way to go.
and I'm from Sodus.
Okay. Well, we're giggling and everything here, but we're just having a good time, and we have had a great time with you guys. It's been great up to now, and I think we've got a few more songs to do. But, I just want to, Steve, I'm so happy you finally joined me on the show, and I sincerely mean that. I've looked forward to this for a long time.
It's a pleasure. It really is.
Yeah. Well,
it really is.
And
I appreciate you having us. I really do.
Glad to have you. Steve actually goes back a ways with me. He used to come in and to my shop in the 1970s, early 70s, and buy a few strings and this and that. And he met me again later a few years ago, not too long ago, and started. He bought some more strings and ended up buying a guitar he uses on the set, on the stage a lot, and I appreciate that.
Yep.
But the group actually, you yourself, have been doing music and playing around this area, upstate New York area, for a few years. And back in the 70s, of course, when I met you.
Started in the early 70s.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. And it had quite a few groups. You started out with, I think, was it Misty Blues? Or
I started out with the Ridge Runners.
The Ridge Runners.
And went to the Misty Blues.
And Ridge Runners was what kind of music?
It was country.
Country.
Yep, it was country.
Okay.
Went to the Misty Blues. That was with Sonny Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
And left the Misty Blues to form my own band called Country Magic, which Steve was a part of right from the beginning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, we had a run for probably 18 years.
And then, but you've had now your more modern ones. The more as time has gone on, now you're in a group called Pink Cadillac.
Pink Cadillac, which is 50s and 60s rock and roll.
Okay.
And I was in a band called the Heaters.
Okay.
From 1991 till 1996, with the passing of Vince Sinelli, a great friend of mine, wonderful drummer. That band, we broke up with his passing. That was rock and roll. We did everything from Three Dog Night to Sly and the Family Stone.
Wow.
Chicago.
Wow.
So
you've done a lot, Steve. And all I hear is, your father, little Steve, your father, we call him Skip. That's what, right?
Yeah. Sometimes.
And among other things, right?
Yeah.
But Skip, he wasn't around back then, and all of a sudden you join me. I come over to play with you someday. You bring me. He comes to my store, buys a guitar for me, and then he asks me to come over and jam with him, and we end up doing a job together.
Yeah.
And then I met his son Skip, which was a pleasure to me.
it was your birthday.
It was.
As I remember.
Oh, I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Very well. But in any case, you are very well known throughout the whole area. Everybody I speak to knows who Steve Wickman is, and they tell me all kinds of stories. Stories, some I can tell, and we will tell it on the round table, and some I can't tell. But but we
You must have me confused with him.
oh, that's Steve. Yeah. So we're looking forward to a great roundtable after you do with a few of your songs and everything. Okay, everybody, and we'll get those stories out. We'll talk more about it. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the guy I'm going to tell you all about. He was abducted. No, he was inducted to the music, the country music Hall of Honor, and we're going to talk all about that at the roundtable.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll get on with our show.
Song by Ronnie Milsap. This could be our last good night together. We may never pass this way again. Just let me enjoy it till it's over, oh, forever. Please don't tell me how the story ends. See the way shadows come together. Someday, these may be all that Sung by the Bobby Fuller Four.
Breaking rocks in the hot sun. I fought the law in the law one. I fought the law in the law one. I needed money 'cause I had none. I fought the law in the law one. I fought the law in the law one. Six gun. I fought the law in the law one. I fought the law in the law one. I miss my baby and the good fun. I fought the law in the law one. I fought the law in the law one.
Hi, I'm Nick Rita, and this is Uncle Nick's Corner. This segment of the program, educational guitar. I don't know about you, but when I look, I get kind of, I don't know what the word is, iconoclastic, really protective of the instrument. I really love the guitar. There are other instruments I like too, like the kazoo is a great instrument, you know, but you know, it just didn't make it. But the guitar it just speaks to me, and I don't know if it's the same with you. I do, you know, like saxophone and stuff like all the others, and the piano, oboe's a beautiful instrument. But for some reason, the guitar always sparked me. Today I'm going to talk about some finger exercises. Good technique and good form as far as the way you hold your fingers is very important. It could get in your way. I knew a guy one time who had his thumb over the neck all the time, and he could not bring his thumb back here, even to try to get bar chords, and it tremendously limited what he was doing. One of the things that I do with my students when they first start out, and especially if they seem to be having trouble with the four-finger position, the four-finger position is 1, 2, 3, 4. One finger assigned to each consecutive fret. So if I'm in the first position, my first finger is going to be on the first fret, second finger on the second fret, third finger on the third fret, and fourth finger on the fourth fret. If I'm in the second fret, second position, 1, 2, 3, 4 with the 2, 3, 4, 5 frets. So that's what we mean by position. Now, generally, like I say, what I do with my students, especially if they seem to be having trouble with there, I give them the minor pentatonic scale, and in its first form, we start with the first finger on any given fret, and then we go 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, and 4. And that helps keep these fingers in position. Especially gives work to the pinky finger. The pinky is the one that is usually the most unruly. And also independent finger movement. Independent finger movement allows you to move one finger or two fingers and move them independently. I remember when I first started playing the guitar, I could not do that. Now I can, because of the independent finger movement. And good positioning always gives you that independent finger movement, independent strength. Let's see, here's an exercise that I developed one time. I was watching the Yankees on television, so I call it the Yankee exercise. Sometimes when I sit and watch television, if I'm not really watching something, engrossed in something, I have my guitar beside my chair and I pick it up and I just use it to practice a little bit. But I started this one with the first finger on the first fret of the first string. Then I went to the second fret, third fret, and fourth fret. So it was, then I went to the second string, and when I went to the second string, I started on the second fret and did the same thing. Then when I went to the third string, I started on the third fret, then fourth string, fourth fret, fifth string, fifth fret, sixth string, sixth fret. Then I continued going up to the seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th. Doesn't sound like much, but it's very good finger exercise. As we go up the fingerboard, notice what happens is our fingers get closer together. That's because of the way that the fingerboard is laid out. The frets up here are closer together, and as they go down the fingerboard, they get further apart. So that was... Come on, pick, let's get moving. And you can reverse it. Of course, as you're playing this, you want the notes to get clearer and clearer and clearer and even more clearer than that. One other one is a group of exercises using the first and second, first and third, first and fourth. On the first two strings, we're starting on the first fret on the second string, playing 1, 2, then going to the first string, playing 1, 2. Then we go up one fret, 2, 1, 2, 1, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. Go up the fingerboard as high as you want, wherever you want. Sometimes I forget where I am and I go all the way up. Sometimes I get bored and I say, let's do something else. So then I go to the 1, 3. Same thing, working up the fingerboard, so on. Then I would go to a 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the 1, 4. Then the 2, 3. Kind of sounds like Twilight Zone. Then we go to the 2, 4. So what it's doing is it's working independent motion, independent strength, and all the different fingers. Then the 3, 4. And so on. So it was 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 4. And doing it on the first and second strings. Of course, you can move down the fingerboard and down across the strings and use a second and third. You could if you want, I guess. And then, but I usually just do the first few strings, and basically it doesn't sound like much, and basically you can develop it however you want, but the idea is getting independent strength, independent finger movement. Very important as you're playing the guitar, especially single notes. So, till next time, keep on picking and keep on plucking. Again, if you have any questions, just drop a line, email, snail mail, call, and we'll answer any question you would like. Take care.
This is a song by Jerry and the Pacemakers.
2, 3, 4.
let the sun catch you crying. The night's a time for your tears. Your heart may be broken tonight, but tomorrow in the morning light, don't let the sun get you crying. The nighttime shadows disappear, and with them go all your fears. Oh, the morning will bring joy for every girl and boy. So don't let the sun get you crying. You know that crying is not a bad thing. So stop your crying when the birds sing. It may be hard to discover that you've been left for another, but don't forget that love's a game. It can always come again. So don't let the sun get you crying. Don't let that sun get you crying. Oh no. Oh.
Here's a song that was written by Willie Nelson and was made famous by Farron Young.
Well, hello, Walt. How things go for you today? Don't you miss her? Since she up and walked away, and I'll bet you regret to spend another lonely night with me. Lonely walls, I'll keep you company. Well, hello, window. Well, I see that you're still here. Don't you miss her? Since she up and disappeared. Well, look, here is that a teardrop in the corner of your pain. Don't you try to tell me that it's rain. She went away. She left us all alone the way she planned. Guess we'll have to learn to get along without her if we can. Well, hello, ceiling. I'm gonna stare at you a while. You know I can't sleep, so won't you bear with me a while? We must all sit together, or else I'll lose my mind. Bet you she'll be gone a long, long time. Yes, I bet you she'll be gone a long, long time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the music show. This is the round table part of our music show. I'm Ray Braselton, your host.
And I'm Nick Rita, co-host.
Well, we're glad to have you with us. And today you've been watching the Steve Wickman and Friends band. And we're going to introduce everybody. Of course, we have to start with. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Steve Wickman.
Okay.
Hi, Ray.
This is our main guy here, Steve Wickman.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Hewling Hummel from Waverly, New York.
Steve DeSanto from Clyde, New York.
Ian Kerr from Sodus, New York.
I'm Jay Palmer from Webster, New York.
And I'm Steve Wickman also.
Uh-huh.
Sodus.
Okay, so some relation here.
Yeah.
Well, you probably, if you've been watching the show, you pretty much know what instruments they play, and you're a little bit versatile. You change instruments once in a while. I noticed you were playing guitar and drums, and Steve, you were playing
Just drums and drums.
and drums,
Bongos.
the bongos, right? So that's kind of nice. But you know, I want to just talk a little bit about Steve before we start the show, so you have a little bit of an idea who he is. First of all, they're all from the upstate New York area, and Steve's been in probably this area for quite a while, and been playing for quite a while. And but he's a very well-known musician in the upstate area. He's hosted hundreds of benefits and donated his time and talent for many worthy causes, raising thousands of dollars for families in distress, the Heart Association, children with life-threatening diseases, fire victims, for food pantries, and many other worthy causes. Just too numerous to mention. Try and show you a few of the pictures of his little book that he's put together. They put together of his band, and you'll see some of those events that he's playing at. But Steve was also inducted into the New York State Country Music Hall of Honor on October 29th, 2006, along with many other great musicians like Vern Young.
Vern
who,
Young,
is
same
from this
day.
area too, on the same day. And you said also that you thought
I believe there's Billy Hackett, perhaps Lyle Comstock, John Stiles, I believe.
Wow. I
There-
didn't
there's-
realize John Stiles was in it too.
But there's people in there from all over the New York State area, and it's a wonderful place. It'd make a great day trip for anybody. I strongly recommend it.
This is in Cortland.
It's in Cortland, New York. It's a country music park.
But you've also, I know you started out in the late 60s as a younger guy, playing with the group called Ridge.
It was the Ridge Runners, yeah. I played drums at the time.
At the
Yep.
time. At the time you didn't know how to play guitar, or you just didn't know that much how to play
I knew a
guitar?
little bit of guitar, but I was into the drums pretty good, and they needed a drummer, and they had drums. I didn't have to buy any,
There
and
you
they
go.
paid, I think at the time we paid $25
Oh my
plus
gosh.
drinks.
That's
So,
great. Well, that's then you went on to you said I think the Misty Blues.
yep,
after
Sonny
that.
Carroll and the Misty Blues. Yep, I played bass guitar then. I went to bass guitar and played with them for, I can say probably 2 to 4 years.
Was that the early 70s?
Yep, very early 70s, yeah, 1971, maybe 72.
And then if I'm going to my list right, you also worked with Country Magic.
Country Magic, I formed with Steve DeSanto.
Uh-huh. So you guys have been together for a while.
We've been together
For a long time.
since 1974.
Wow.
Yeah, 1974. And that was an 18-year run band. At the Red Rooster in Prairieville, New York, we were host band there every Saturday night, and plus we played other venues besides.
And I see the Heaters, and that was a different mix of music,
Yeah.
1991 to 1995.
1991 and 1995 was a group called the Heaters. It was formed with myself, Vinnie Sinelli, Doug Merritt, Ralph Williamson, and we would rotate musicians. We had great musicians over the years. I mean, we had horn players, Kevin Sharp, Eric Will, one of the best keyboard players around, a lot of talent, and we would change the music format every year. So we'd have 10 people one year, 6 people one year, 8 people one year, different style of music every year, from Three Dog Night to blues to Beatles. And Vinnie Sinelli, unfortunately, became ill and succumbed to his disease, and that was the end of that band.
Now, Steve Wickman and Friends actually looks like it might have started in 2006. Around there, was it before that? And then you acquired another person, didn't you? A few other people.
Well,
we kind of, whenever there's a gig or an event, Steve will put together a band.
Right.
So we are friends, and it does work.
So it does. The name really fits. And everything. And you guys have been playing together for quite a while, right? Since
The whole
2006. And this is what you are now.
well, it depends on the venue and who's available.
Well, you got Pink Cadillac too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pink Cadillac is a 50s and 60s rock and roll
You're
band.
still doing that.
Yep, is Ian Kerr, my son Stephen, myself, Greg Guerin, Pat Guerin runs lights and sound, and June Smith. And it's 50s and 60s, good time, fun rock and roll.
You played with a lot of people I know, and I just thought I'd mention a few of the people that you played that I know that I worked with. I know you performed with well, some of the people. I think Frank Bruni.
Frank Bruni was a bass player in the Country Magic Band.
Yeah, I think I've met
Talent
Frank,
guy. Also, if you could take a moment, in that band was Dave Garrison, Dick Kenville, of course Steve DeSanto, and we had John O'Bine for a while, and
O'Byrne. Yep.
the band is the band, and the taste of the music changed. We would add people and grow them. So, very talented people, a wonderful ride with them.
Well, there's also other people that you played along the way with, like Dick Rowland, who's been on the TV show.
Rowland.
And Bev Owen's been on the TV show. Doug Merritt used to teach for me years ago.
Doug Merritt, wonderful guy, great musician.
Warren Weeks, I gave bass lessons to when he was
tell you what.
I started him out of it.
He's one of the top bass players there is.
Well, not because of me. He only took about 2 or 3 weeks for me. Cliff Mayo, I remember Cliff.
Yeah.
Audie Arliss, who's
Audie
a steel
Arliss.
guitar, and he's well known. He was a national star. Or
Audie Arliss was very big on the music scene with steel guitar.
Yeah.
Very big.
Yeah.
Very big.
And of course, Dave Garrison, which we mentioned, and Sonny. So these are some of the people that I knew of that you worked with. We're just kind of a small, close-knit bunch of people here in this area, so we know each other. But you also did some special jamborees that you might want to talk to about. I know that there was a special, you've done many, like we mentioned, some of the jamborees you've done, but one of them was, interesting, was the Sobey family, and they had a very serious situation, and you raised a lot of money for them.
They were a victim of the system, to put it mildly, and they had black mold in their house, and
they bought the place with it, though. I didn't
bought
know
it, and nobody stood behind it. Nobody helped them out, and they had huge debt, and the family really needed a hand at the time, and we did what we could to help them out.
You guys did a lot. There was a wonderful article on that, and now the other thing is you played with some names. I know that you did. You want to tell us a story a little bit about the Herman's? Oh no, we're not getting to the good stuff yet. But you want to tell us the story of Herman's Hermits. You played with Herman's Hermits, and how that happened.
Herman's Hermits was touring without Peter Noon, and they were at a place called Barney Google's in Palmyra, and I went to hear them, and one of the guys that worked at the restaurant at the
By
time,
the way, that's Yellow Mills.
it's Yellow Mills
right?
Diner now, yep.
Okay.
I knew the guy.
In Macedon.
Yep, and I was there, and when he seen I was there, we watched them their first show, and he had went up and talked to him. So there's a guy out here, a musician that plays, and he does all your stuff. He can sing just like Peter Noon. He can do this. He built me up way higher than I could possibly be, But one thing led to another, and when they took a break, they asked me to come outside, and they said, "Well, what do you know of our stuff? Sing something." So I sang a couple songs, and we went back inside, and they're starting their second set, and bam, they called me up to sing, and I was like nervous, but I got up. I got to do Mrs. Brown. I got to do 2 or 3 of their tunes with them. It was a great experience. Wonderful guys, very nice people. Down to earth.
Quite an honor to.
It was cool. Yeah. It was pretty neat. Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's one of you, but you also opened up for Ernest Tubb one time.
We did that, and
what group was that?
Country Magic, probably mid-70s.
Yeah.
Beckons Park.
Yep.
In
It was
North
at
New York.
Beckons Park, I remember.
Yep. I believe you were down there with
I was with Harry Chapin.
Harry Chapin before he passed.
Yeah, right. Just before he passed. A few weeks before he passed.
Same place.
Yeah. Then also you let's see, you had met Mel Tillis. You want to tell us how you did that?
There used to be a radio station called WNYR Radio in Rochester, New York.
I think they're still going.
And they were, the DJ at the time was Earl Morgan and Johnny Rapp. And I had done a job at the old Olympic Park in Rochester with Marvel family and stuff on a Sunday before that. And Earl says, "Why don't you come up to the station during the week if you're in the city and have lunch?" So I said, sure, I'll come up and have lunch with us. So I went in and I had lunch with him, and he goes, somebody out here you want to meet. It was Mel Tillis. He was in town for whatever reason, and the man stutters like crazy.
Yeah.
But boy,
I know.
you're not going to meet a nicer fella.
Yeah, gentleman, and his daughter's in the show, but we had a lady on the show, Renee Martin, and she was on our TV show, and she's worked with
Pam.
Pam.
Yep.
Yeah, she's worked with Pam, his daughter.
But
I didn't
very
realize
nice
he
man.
had a daughter.
Very nice man. Wonderful guy. Wonderful guy.
I know you guys have played a lot of interesting places like receptions. Can you tell us some of the different types of places you played at?
Oh, I've played
in the past.
I mean, from outside venues on trucks to 1,000 people out in front of you to places such as Belhurst Castle, Holiday Inns, colleges. I've played in bars that you were worried if you were going to get out alive. It was worse than
Heard
a
about
Blues
some
Brothers
of those.
movie. I mean, I did one down in West Virginia. I was on vacation. I ended up playing this bar, and boy, I'll tell you what, it was a rough place, but it was a great time.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
It can get pretty rough. I heard somebody was on the show said that somebody was shot when he was.
Oh, we were in a bar.
Wells
playing,
Fargo, was that?
Well, a little bar, and a guy got mad and come in with a shotgun and blew the lights out over the bar. We were playing on this end of the room, and he came in and went boom, boom, blew the lights out. All hell broke loose. We were diving out the back door.
Those are the old days. Those were,
yeah.
Didn't you say how many counties you'd played in?
Oh, too many to count. All over, everywhere.
Pretty much upstate New York, we'd say, yeah.
I'm from Buffalo to Syracuse, Watertown, Governor.
You know, I did want to mention, too, that your family is, and I've heard this from so many people, that your family is very much into the music business and has been since you were a little boy.
Oh, yeah.
And I've heard people that played, I think Dick Rowland was telling me he played with your father or something.
Yeah,
and
Lloyd Kuhl.
It's a very musical family. Can you tell us something
my
about it?
brother Hank, excellent guitar player, bless him. He passed away shortly, not too long ago. My sisters still sing. My brother Brian's a bass player. Well, you know, everybody, we were all in our own. The one thing is we get together and do jobs.
Yeah.
And when the job's over, then everybody goes their own separate way with their own bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Then somebody will come up with an idea 8 years later, and they all get together and do one more, and then they all go the other way. But very talented group of people.
Well, one thing that I want to mention too is that you had a pretty bad thing happen to you recently with a heart problem of some sort, and you got a lot of help from a group of people. I'd like you to tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I ended up having a triple bypass, heart bypass, and pulled through that. Had a mini stroke shortly thereafter. But I had to be paddled.
Yeah.
I succumbed a couple of times, and they had to paddle me. And when they paddled me, I had all the tubes and everything on yet. And luckily, they knew what they were doing because I come back. But I couldn't function. I couldn't sing anymore. I had trouble putting sentences together, and I thought I was doing okay and healing up until we had our first band practice, and it was with Steve Wickman Friends, Cynthia, Jay, and Eric Will, Freddie DeBuck, bass player, and Pete Kitchen, drummer. Well, I went to the first practice after healing up enough to start playing again, and went to play, and it was just a train wreck. I couldn't sing. I had no tone, no control. I couldn't talk right. And
how discouraging that must have been.
I was devastated. I was devastated. I just wanted to quit playing right on the spot. I was all done. But they all stood behind me and said, we'll stand behind you. Do what you had to do. Maybe you can get some medical help. So I ended up going to North Wayne Community Hospital, where I went for my cardio rehab. Cheryl Gilbert and Kathy Blazy were my rehab nurses, and they did a wonderful job, and I still go. As a matter of fact, I went this morning. And they do everything they can to get your health and your heart better. And I ended up going to Dr. Santosi, and
he's a throat.
He's a throat, and he thought that I should probably go to speech rehab to learn to talk better again and to learn to sing, and see if they could get me to sing.
Right.
And I had Jerry Ann Jackson and Kim and a great staff, and they spent quite a long time, 2-3 months, working and doing tests, and And, you know, by the grace of God and the wonderful people that I had, you know, I'm back, I'm singing, I'm doing good. The band stood behind me all the way.
Great.
You can't ask for that. You know,
Didn't you do a benefit for them too?
We did a benefit in November to raise money for them, and I strongly suggest anybody watching the show that if you have any problems that you need addressed, that there are wonderful facilities right close by that you should go check out.
It is a great staff over there. In fact, I had a little problems with some of that too. Problems I had with my throat, and they helped me out greatly too.
Awesome people.
Awesome people.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of, you know, end the show up a little bit with some of the fun things that happened. I did say fun things.
Fun things.
That happened to you guys in all these years, starting with you guys, and then maybe you could tell some stories about in the past too, from way back. Maybe you can even start with that. Any stories that you can remember of things that happened to you that we can mention on TV?
Well,
That's what I'm trying to think of.
one thing is that, Steve, you never know what song he's going to throw at you in the middle of a set. He'll just say, "Follow me, boys," in the key of C. What song are we singing? I don't know. We were just, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Really.
Doesn't happen much.
Oh, every show.
Right. Every show at least once.
Every
right?
show at least once.
Right. Steve, do you have any interesting things? Probably a lot. You just can't think of them. It's been a long time ago.
There's been so many.
Yeah, right.
The one thing that I brought up earlier, I can remember, was after we got done playing at the Red Rooster, him and owner of the Red Rooster in that time, they decided to go to this all-night bar. And he didn't get home until about probably 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And as he walks in the door, his wife comes down and says, "Oh, are you up?" He said, "Yeah, I couldn't sleep." He said, "Good. My relative or something putting up a chain link fence, and he had to go help all day. They couldn't barely stay awake."
Oh my God.
And then I had to take her to the Red Rooster the following Saturday night and take her to the all-night bar to prove that I was there. And when she walked in and she looked at it, she goes, "Oh my God, she couldn't believe it."
Anybody have any other stories that you can think of?
You go.
It's your turn.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah, he can't reach you.
Oh, man. Well, not too long ago, we had a gig over in Fulton, and he had to sing Richie Valens' tune, and I had a friend of mine and her family come in. So basically, we get into the number. He's singing La Bamba, but he doesn't know the words, and he's making it up as he goes along, and I look over and I see my friend and her father fall off their seats. They're laughing.
La Bamba?
La Bamba. He didn't even know what he said.
Did anybody find out for sure what it was? No, we don't want to mention it.
No, I don't want to really say much about it. So.
Well, Jimmy Steele had one for me to say, but I stayed away from that one. Maybe I'll tell you that one after the show.
Okay.
So now we know that you're available for different jobs all over, and you do play a lot of places, I know, and a lot of different styles, so that's what makes you so unique. But can you give us, do you have a DVD, I mean CD out right now? Or
No.
Don't have anything out right now, maybe in the future, but maybe some contact information, email, website. Want to say it,
I
or
can
do
be
you-
contakted through email.
Okay.
It's probably the best way. It's wickmansteve@yahoo.com.
Okay.
And I mean serious stuff only. I don't want a bunch of, you know.
Yeah, this will be right at the bottom of the screen. It should be there right now, so you'll be able to catch that, okay?
A few bathroom walls.
That's pretty much your contact information. And, I guess, Nick and I want to thank you very much. It's been a long time to get you on. We're so thankful that you did come on. We had a great time at the show with you guys. So much history, so many good things to talk about. And thank you, Cynthia, Steve.
Do I have time for one quick little story?
Yep.
Not too long ago, I had a job that was booked, and it was down in Ovid, New York. And for whatever reason, snowstorm and a health issue, 2 of the people in the band couldn't make it. So I called Jay. I said,
so let's pick on Jay time.
He lives in Webster now. He lives in Webster now. This is Ovid. I said, Jesus, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, Jay, I'm in a spot. I need a guitar player tonight. Can you play? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, meet me in my house. So he comes to my house. It's cold and snowing. He goes, where is it? I said, it's down the road. Toward Geneva. So we're driving. He's behind me, and we're driving. He's behind me, and we're driving. He's behind me. We get to Geneva. We cut through a parking lot. Remember, Stephen?
Yeah.
Cut through a parking lot of a Home Depot or something. Jay's like going through the parking lot. We finally get there. He goes, just on the road. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, poor Jay, you know, he had a long ways to drive tonight for this show.
That's right. We're making up
Tonight
for
was
it tonight.
payback. He had to go 100 feet.
Well, everybody, I think we got all the email and contact information.
I think,
And Nick and I want to thank you all for joining us today's show. It was a blast and a real good show. And I just hope all our friends that you and I know that we read off the list get to watch it. And they'll be probably wanting to be on again and bring you on and roast you. Or something.
Well,
So-
you know, I'm up for a roast, I guess.
So
I just hope
everybody-
they noticed the kind words I said about him.
Yeah, that's right. You did.
Because I met him.
You did.
I really did. I would not be anywhere at all where I am today if it wasn't for the wonderful people that supported me all the years playing. And these folks right here, these guys go the extra mile for me all the time, without question.
Well, thank you guys very much. Thank you. I want to thank you, Steve.
Thank
for
you, Ray.
finally getting
It's a
on
pleasure.
and bringing Cynthia with us and
Steve.
Middle Steve.
And you know Nick.
I know Nick. Hey guys, thank you. Okay, that's another show, and we hope you enjoyed it. And join us for our next show, the music show.
Puts on her makeup, brushes her long blonde hair, and then she asks me, do I look alright? And I say yes, you look wonderful tonight. Go to a party, everyone turns to see this beautiful lady who's walking around with me. And then she asks me, do I feel alright? And I say yes, I feel wonderful tonight. I feel wonderful because I see the love light in your eyes and the wonder of your own, that you just don't realize how much I love you. It's time to go home now, and I got an aching head. So I give her the car keys. She helps me to bed.